回までのあらすじ。
嘘。私のジャンプ、下手すぎ。みんなトリプルルッツとかフリッツできるのに。
ジャンプ指導の先生を呼んだから大丈夫だよ。それでは先生、お願いします。
はじめまして、鎌戸炭治。
He does have a checkered scarf. Oh, Lord. 20-point gap. She feels a lot more comfortable. Well, do it without the harness, though. It's a big difference. Oh. Oh! So he's magical. So usually, and I haven't spent a ton of time in a pole harness. If I was in a harness, I was usually in the one that's connected to the ceiling, but I very much struggled to land it right after being in the harness because it's easy to land it in the harness. But then when you take the harness off, it feels like it's still there, but you are conscious that it's not. So it's like actually harder. So most coaches try keeping the belt on and disconnecting it. So you still feel like you're in the harness. So you might land it even though you're not connected to the harness because it's all mental. It's like a very strange feeling when you've been in the harness for a moment and then you get out, and it almost always is like terrifying to jump right after it until like your body gets used to not being in it anymore. I don't know. So it's like, oh, okay, she's fine. She's good now. Cool. All right. That's all she needed. I wish I could get a flip and a lutz that easily. Fun fact, my double flip and double lutz, I pretty much never got consistently. Good times. They're all having the time of their life landing jumps now. It's gonna take a while to get used to his voice being in this. I don't necessarily feel like that's normal. I'm gonna call it out and say, from what I've seen when it comes to a pole harness, it does help. It's not some like magical thing that just makes you able to land a jump immediately. I'm just saying. He could just be so good. If it's all he does. In his defense, and in the show's defense, what I'm talking about was seeing skaters not necessarily land it so quickly after being put in the pole harness, is that the coaches that are doing it are not necessarily pole harness specialists. They're just regular coaches. Maybe they're not doing it right. Maybe we need to find this guy. Where are you? Come on. Okay, Hanai-san, get over here. Someone else get over here. Let's make a pole harness specialist show up. If that's literally all he does, I just don't know if it's like something you can do a technique. Maybe it's normal in Japan too. I'm maybe going back so I can keep hearing him talk. Isekai I need to pay closer attention. Holy moly. Okay. Isekai reincarnation came from a skating road where quintuple jumps are them. That's funny. I mean, he maybe came from a world where demons exist. Maybe a quintuple to Tanjiro is really easy. Sorry. That's a big jump combo, Inori. But she can land a triple axel. No, don't leave! It's true. Jumps will always be the thing that reigns supreme. Of course he's a great guy. Everyone loves him. They're all gonna be sad now. I'm sad too. He's gonna have to figure out how to do it now. Oh, he bought one? See, even Tsukasa has to go through his training arc. Obuchi. Yeah, he's used to having someone right next to him and being able to match their movements because ice dance has to be very close to each other. The only problem is if she has a hard time while everyone else was landing their jumps, now she's gonna... Oh, she still can't land her double axel. It'd be really difficult to watch Inori just shoot up ahead of her then. They're really making this harness out to be a little bit more magical than it actually is. I'm not gonna lie. Aww. Mm-hmm. Was he gonna do it he's gonna put himself in it? Hmm. Which is a good thing. She's got better ice coverage, which leads to higher GOE. Uh-oh. Yeah, that is one of the, like, you take a chance when you have the pole harness because it is more dangerous for the coach to use a pole harness. So, of course, like, you have to learn how to use it. You have to start probably with, like, smaller skaters and that sort of thing, and then, like, gradually get there with, like, the skaters who are, like, closer in size to you, because it's all about, like, where you're shifting the weight, where the axis is, right? So in this case, like, obviously he hit a dent in the ice, which makes it a different experience, but, like, the coach has to be very careful because if they fall while they're doing it and they, like, let go of the pole, then that's very dangerous for the skater, but then they can't break their own fall, so they're gonna land on their face, and hopefully Tsukasa is okay. Why is he just laying there? I don't need this show to make me go through, like, thinking characters are gonna die, okay? Not that I think Tsukasa is gonna die, but I watched too much Demon Slayer. You might have broken your nose, though. Oh my goodness. Please go to the hospital. And that is a normal thing that can happen. Like, you really... It's... Oh. How did... Okay. It looked like he took most of the brunt on his face. Which I guess, like, you can... I've never fallen so far forward. Okay. Now, Tsukasa, you're being a little bit too much like Tanjiro again. I kind of thought this would happen. But now he can't do that. They're gonna have to call him back. But you can't be reliant on the harness either. So it's like a double-edged sword. Because first things first, when it comes to jumping, you can land the jump for the first time and land it for the day or the next day. You don't necessarily have it consistent. I remember when I learned my single axel, I landed it for the first time one day, and then I lost it for like a week, a few days later, and then I got it back for a day, and then I couldn't land it the next day again, and then I got it back a week later. Like, it took a while for it to become consistent. Once you land a jump, that does not mean that you are now just going to land it all the time. Even now with my double sow, I'll have days where I land all of the attempts. I land 3 out of 3, I land 4 out of 4, maybe I pop one in between, but it's like just a quick pass around, do it again, land it. Then there's some days where it's like I try 8 and I land the 8th one and it's like I stepped out and it was super under-rotated, right? It's because consistency takes a while to build up. It'll start to build up once you land it the first time because now you know that feeling, but jumps are finicky and your body is especially for women, going through changes throughout the month, and your energy levels might be lower, or mentally you might be a little bit more exhausted, or mentally you don't even realize that you're thinking negatively about your jump, and that can affect your ability to jump as high or rotate as fast, that sort of thing. And then on top of that, it seems a little bit like because these skaters, this guy shows up, he puts them in this harness, it's fun, they start landing everything, which, okay, so fine. This was this magic thing that worked this well for them. But now that's only a temporary help. So now it's almost as if as soon as Inori can't be in that harness, she is struggling again because she's already internalizing that harness to be a little bit like a safety blanket, which you can't have that when you compete. The harness is there as a tool to help you get to the point where you can at least land the jump, and then from there on out, it's all about you and your ability to keep working at it. Be okay with the days where you are falling on it a lot. Be okay with the days where you're maybe struggling a little bit more. Know that it's part of the process and keep going. And I would only assume that becomes more and more prevalent the higher and higher you get, because that was the way it was for me with doubles. I would assume with triples it might be even more that way. It might be even more lengthy of a process to get from the point of landing it for the first time to getting to the point where you land it 90% of the time in practice. So that's like a very normal thing, but it can mess with your head, and I feel like Inori has gotten to bypass that a lot, whether that's because it's just the way the story's written and she's an MC, or, you know, occasionally those skaters don't really have those issues, but at some point you probably will. Like, you are going to get to the point where all of this talent is gonna catch up to you. So I do think that she's relying on this harness a little bit too much now. And it's almost like, yeah, I want them to call this guy back because he has my favorite voice actor, but at the same time, she can't be so reliant on it. Yeah, you have to learn how to do it as a coach. You can't just start putting skaters in it. It can get very dangerous. I'm sure the other guy, which again, I forgot his name already, my apologies. I'm sure it took him a long time to get to the point where he's as good as he is at it. And if it's all he does, he just goes ring to ring to do it, which is normal for a jump technician to not have their own students, but to go to different rinks to help students out and, you know, that sort of thing. If that's all he does, then that's all he does. He's going to be really good at doing it, but Tsukasa needs to, like, ease himself into it. Power poles. He's probably resting. Oh, no. Oh, okay. 9 more days. That is a very scary thing, though. Okay. Are they driving up? I'm so glad her mom is fine. So they're driving, which is like, for me, this is the only way. I mean, it depends. Like, we flew to my last 2 competitions because they were just far enough that it was like a 6-hour drive. But we don't really have buses. We don't have trains. So it's like, for me, yeah, I would be driving. But I was like, oh, they should. Well, Niigata they're in Nagoya, right? They're in Nagoya. So Niigata is like on the other side, like by the Sea of Japan instead of the Pacific Ocean, right? Help me with my Japanese geography here, please. But I think it's like the other side. It's like when we went last year, we landed in Tokyo, and then we took a train to Kanazawa, which is like the opposite coast. And I'm pretty sure Nagoya and Niigata are like farther apart than Tokyo and Kanazawa, but I'm feeling like it's like a similar process, like you're going from one coast to the next, which is by Shinkansen 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that. I don't know well enough. I've been there once. Literally my entire childhood was me sleeping in the car. It's just like such a weird like culture difference. I love it. It's like so cool to learn about the difference. pretty late. Of course he's gonna say yes to anything she wants. Getting to travel with your coach is a lot of fun. Although I don't think it's technically allowed here in the States anymore because of safe sport. Maybe driving together is fine, but not a hotel room. That's a funny translation considering it's like t, but I know he's saying r, which is it looks like the number 3 with a little loop. Girl, go to sleep. Oh, to be 12 again. You better sleep. It's like exciting to get to spend like regular time with your coach. It's always so like business. But your coach knows more about you than the average person because they spend so much time with you. It's so cute. It's so wholesome. I love their dynamics so much. This is so adorable. Oh, Yasami! Go to sleep! Yeah, but is him doing it going to be a specific help this time? You're not a good liar, Inori. Pretty. Because ribs, yeah, you can't just fix them. Just heal on their own. Too deep. You need to find like a shallower body of water to skate on. Skating isn't all about just being successful all the time. You're gonna have ups and downs, but you gotta take it in stride. You're still probably in pain though. Come on, Tsukasa. So he runs warm. Don't ask me why that made me tear up. I think he wanted to skate on the ice forever, but no one believed in him. Okay then. Cool. Okay. I need to start bringing tissues in. I don't know why I don't bring tissues into the office when I record Medalist because chances are I'm gonna cry. Okay, so I hope I kind of got the point across with the pole harness. I don't know how I feel how they're writing it to be in the show because it's not just some magic fix to land jumps. It's not something that's just gonna make it like suddenly that much easier. It's really to help you get a feel for the jump, to help you get a feel for landing it, to make sure you are able to understand where your access is supposed to be and that sort of thing. but it doesn't necessarily make you just able to land it. But they're also showing that Inori is still struggling with it without it. So I think that she just has to be careful and not build a reliance on the pole harness because, like I said, you can't compete with it. So that ending, though, I don't know why that made me so emotional. I think it's just like she's so casually just believes in him. And of course, like she's a young 12-year-old who kind of went through something similar to him. But for her to just like casually say, I bet like you're so warm so you can just skate forever, as in like you were born to skate, but no one ever believed in his ability to do that. And now like it's too late. He's putting all of that energy into Inori and believing in her instead. And it shows how much Tsukasa is such a selfless person. You know, like I think I made a joke a while back in season 1 that he is like Tanjiro because he now has been told essentially like you have a career in front of you if you want it, like for yourself, like you could be in shows and that sort of thing, but he wants to pour his energy into her instead. And that's not even something I could do at this point. Like what I'm doing in skating, I'm doing for me. I'm not trying to teach other skaters. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just doing skating for me, which I guess you could call selfish, but it just made me a little bit emotional because Tsukasa is my favorite character, so it's like, you know. Anyway. Other than that, like the show is definitely in like a part that's just very like build up for All Japan. So we only have 9 days and we're going to Niigata to work with him again. I need to memorize this guy's name. I like disrespecting Hanae-san here. Uobuchi. Takeru Uobuchi. They're already headed to him, so that's great. That means that he'll be back. Be in the next episode, which is great.
このコーナーでは先週の動画で翻訳が大変なところだったりを紹介するコーナーです。早速、まずはこちらから紹介しましょう。
I have heard that it's fairly easy to do if you can land triples. It's only one rotation. You just have to turn the other way. Like you're turning perpendicular to the ice instead of parallel to the ice. So
前回は冒頭でバックフリップの補足が入りましたね。この英文を見てみるとターンジアザーウェイと言っています。直訳するなら別の向きに回転をする、あるいは別の方向に回転をするという感じでしょうか。ただ、これをそのまま日本語に直してもちょっとややこしいです。別の向きや別の方向にと言いましたが、これだと回転をする方向が違うだけとか、左回転が右回転になるとか、そういう意味に捉えることもできると思います。その後に平行にするところを直角にすると補足はあるものの、できれば誤解がないようにしておきたいところではあります。なので、ここでは別の方向という翻訳をあえて外して、端的に縦か横の違いだけとしました。まあ、バックフリップがどんな技なのかを知ってる人なら、ここまで丁寧に言葉を選ばなくてもわかるかもしれませんが、セカストのこれぐらいでわかるだろうは視聴者にとってはハテナだったりします。それに、できるだけ1回見てもらうだけでわかる動画を目指しているので、できるだけ簡単な翻訳にしようとは心がけています。まあ、その気遣いも視聴者にとってはややこしいだけになるかもしれませんが、今のところはそんな方針で翻訳をしていますよ、ということでした。それでは、次に行きましょう。
Hikaru can be someone who's very dominant, but there are times where someone who wins everything they do just slips up.
これも文章自体はそこまでややこしくはないのですが、英語独特の言い回しを日本語でどう翻訳するかがポイントになりますね。問題はこのWho wins everything they doというところです。スリップアップはヘマをする、うっかり間違えるという意味。なので単にミスをすると訳せばいいのですが、セカストはなぜか不調はあると翻訳しています。どういう意図でそうしたのかは正直覚えていませんが、まあそこまで意味が遠くなってるわけではないので、どうか見逃してください。さて、話をWho wins everything they doに戻しましょう。直訳するならやることすべてで勝利を収めるといった感じでしょうか。やっぱりそのまま直訳してしまうと意味自体はなんとなくわかるのですが、日本語的にはちょっと不自然な表現になってしまいますね。なのでここは頭を柔らかくして 噛み砕いて考える必要がありますね。要するにここは全ての大会で勝っている、優勝している選手にもミスはある。そういうことを言いたいのだと思います。なので、そこら辺を汲み取った上で文字数を考慮した翻訳にすると、セカストの場合は上昇街道を突き進む選手としました。一応、文字数的にはそれなりにすっきりしましたが、4文字熟語が読みやすいかと言われれば、ちょっと微妙かもしれませんね。これは先ほどのできるだけ簡単な翻訳からは少し外れたかもしれません。と、セカストは思っていますが、どうでしょうか。まあ、そういったことも考えながら翻訳をしていました。はい、次に行きましょう。
Yeah, she has a very nice extension in her landing.
はい、エクステーションという単語が出てきましたね。カタカナでエクステーションというと最近では、略してエクステという付け紙を指す場合が多いかもしれませんね。当然ながら英語においては必ずしもそういう意味ではありませんし、フィギュアスケートやスポーツの分野においては当然違う意味が出てきます。そもそもエクステーションは拡張、伸長、延長という意味になります。なので紙のエクステも文字通り紙を伸ばしているという意味ですね。ではフィギュアスケートにおいての延長、伸長とは何でしょうか。花さんは光のジャンプの着氷を見てないすエクステーションと言っていますね。光のジャンプを見た別の子がフリーレッグが高いと言っています。なので同じような意味だと考えられるのですが、要するにここでのエクステーションは体をピンと伸ばすことを指していると思われます。なので光のフリーレッグの足がピンと伸びてていいねということです。ただ翻訳では本編に合わせるようにフリーレッグが高いとしました。この翻訳にした理由は、まず第一に足がピンと伸びているからこそフリーレッグが高くなるのではないかと判断したからです。そして第2の理由が一番ウェイトを占めるのですが、セカストはフリーレッグが伸びているという表現が日本のフィギュアスケートにおいて自然な表現なのか判断できませんでした。なので少なくとも本編ではフリーレッグが高いと言っているので、これはスケート業界では日常的に使われる表現なのは間違いありません。なのでフリーレッグが高いとしました。いろいろ言いましたが、要は安牌を取ったという、ただそれだけのことでした。原作も読み始めたとはいえ、まだまだセカストはにわかですね。はい、次に行きましょう。
It was like occasionally there would be someone working on them, but for the most part, we were all kind of in the same pool of just like not really gonna go to the Olympics, nothing crazy like that, not really aiming for international success, just kind of loving skating, right?
ここはセカストの意訳がとんでもなく火を吹いた場面でした。まず、どんな状況でこの言葉が出てきたのかというと、特別練習に参加する選手たちのレベルに萎縮してしまった祈りを見て、花さんが自分が所属していたリンクのレベルの話をしている場面でした。ちょっと長い文ですが、それぞれ見ていきましょう。まずセームプールオブと言っています。一応ネットで意味を調べてみましたが、それらしき表現は見つかりませんでした。なので、ちゃんと辞書に載っているような表現ではないっぽいです。ただ、意味としては同じような場所、同じような状況と、前後の文脈から、そういう意味なのではないかと判断しました。なので、とりあえずここは皆、似たり寄ったりの実力としました。繰り返しますが、後にどんな文章が続くのかも見て、そこの文のつながりや整合性を見て、この翻訳にしています。次の文章を見てみると、五輪に行くような人もいないと、端的に意味を捉えるなら、そんな文章が出てきましたね。そういった端的な翻訳でもいいのかもしれませんが、セカスト的にはここのクレイジーという単語をできるだけ翻訳に反映させたかったです。ある程度さらっと出てきた単語ではありますが、花さんもやはり五輪に出場する選手はクレイジーと評価しているとわかる単語です。なので、ここのクレイジーをどうにか反映させたところ、五輪級の化け物はいないとなりました。化け物は漢字で書くと化け物などと書くこともできますが、ここは漢字を開いてカタカナにした方が読みやすいのではと判断しました。そして、続く文章ではこうなっていますね。 直訳するなら国際的な成功は別に狙っていないというような意味です。これも直訳のままならなんとなく意味はわかるのですが、できるだけズバッと日本語的にわかりやすい文章にしたいところです。なので、ここは世界レベルも狙ってないとしました。こうすれば、その前の五輪級の化け物との相性もいい気がしました。そして、最後にこう続きました。直訳するならただスケートが大好きなだけというような意味です。五輪級の化け物もいないし、世界レベルも狙ってないと対比になってますね。セカストはここの翻訳はスケート好きの集まりとしました。では、改めて文章をつなげてみてみましょう。
It was like occasionally there would be someone working on them, but for the most part, we were all kind of in the same pool of just like not really gonna go to the Olympics, nothing crazy like that, not really aiming for international success, just kind of loving skating, right?
どうでしょうか？できればスケート好きの集まりと言っていたところ、ただのを入れてただのスケート好きの集まりとしたかったところです。もう翻訳してた時のことをあまり覚えていませんが、多分文字数の関係でそうしなかったのでしょう。とにかく、ここはセカストの癖が結構出た箇所だったかと思います。人によっては化け物とか嫌いな表現かと思いますが、ここでは褒めてる意味でクレイジーを使っていたので、褒める意味なら化け物でもいいのではないかと判断しました。さて、次が最後です。さらっといきましょう。
Oh, okay. So now I'm understanding why we introduced him in that way with him fishing, because he's a jump technician who uses a fish pole harness. Oh, you're smart. You're so smart. Yes, we call that, at least in America, the fish pole harness. I think they called it that.
はい、ここでのポイントはシンプルです。釣り竿ハーネスという言葉が日本にあるかどうかというだけです。セカストが調べた感じだとないっぽいんですが、有識者の皆様、どうでしょうか？ただ、ここはアメリカではそういう名称だという言葉が出てくるので、造語でも何でもいいので釣り竿ハーネスという単語を出したわけです。この炭治郎ではなく魚淵先生が釣りをしていたのも、ハーネスを釣り竿のようにうまく使えるからという伏線でしたね。というわけで、今回は翻訳の紹介はここら辺にしておきます。先ほどもちらっと言ったのですが、セカストは原作を読み始めて、現在7巻まで読んでしまいました。ここから先の話は、アニメより先の展開を匂わすことを言うので、そういうのが嫌な方は、ここで動画を終了してください。いいですね。10秒間だけ待ってやる。はい、いいですかね。では、ここからはセカストのしょうもない感想になります。7巻までを読んだ感じを見ると、おそらく今期は7巻までが描かれて、7巻以降が劇場版で描かれるという風に見ています。なので、8巻から先を読むべきかどうか迷っていますが、7巻の最後も結構なクリフハンガーで終わっていたので、もだえています。調べてみるとメダリストの劇場版は2027年公開予定なのだとか。まあ、多分それまで我慢できないと思いますし、原作を買えば原作者に貢献できると思いますので、おそらく8巻以降も読んじゃいます。というか、7巻の時点でとんでもないことになっていて、ある場面を見たセカストはとなってしまいました。これからの展開を花さんが見てしまったら、どんな反応になるのか怖い。そんな風なコメントがありましたが、その意味がなんとなくわかりました。ただ、花さんの動画に出会わなければ、そんな感想すら抱かなかったと思います。まあとにかく、これからのメダリストが大変楽しみですし、今期は残り数話しかありませんが、最後まで楽しんでいきたいと思います。というわけで、今回はここまでにします。よろしければチャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。それでは、また次回お会いしましょう。さよなら。